Alabama is always signing big-time players in their recruiting classes, and they've done a great job at the quarterback position. Guys like Jalen Hurts, Jalen Milroe, Tua, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, and now Ty Simpson have all been great for the Crimson Tide, and it looks like they have found their next great player in the 2026 class. Today, I want to introduce you to Jett Thomalla. He's one of the best high school quarterbacks in Nebraska football history, is listed as one of the top quarterback recruits in the nation, and could be the guy to take over for Alabama in the coming years. I'm going to introduce you to who he is, how he ended up at Bama instead of another local school, and just my thoughts on him. But before we get started, if you're a big fan of college football, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you want to support today's video, and let me know what player, team, topic, or situation I can cover next. Now let's go ahead and get started and talk about Jett Thomalla. Okay, so in order to understand how he got to this point, we first need to go back in time. To Thamalla's private quarterback coach in Omaha, Nebraska, he has been the same player ever since he was in 6th grade. A big, lanky kid who wore size 15 shoes. He'd always been consistent and was not someone who had a huge ego or loved the spotlight. He said, quote, he's going to let his play do the talking. His trainer always thought he had the vision of a Division I quarterback, and it would eventually come true, but it just took some time. He ended up getting a chance to start as a junior at Millard South High School. He had 3,664 yards and 47 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. The team also went 12-1 and took home a state title. To this point, he had been super patient in his recruitment, and he was waiting for a big break. On January 28th, Iowa State became the first Power 4 school to offer him. He said, quote, I feel like a lot of people preach that to me to stay patient. My stuff will come because of how I played this year and how I kept on working, and even though those offers didn't come in, I felt it was a little frustrating for me and my family, but I stayed working, and they pushed me, and they finally came in. Thomalla started to see interest from tons of schools, as Duke then decided to offer him, and he was now ranked as the number 20 quarterback in the nation, according to 24/7 Sports. He said, quote, it's heating up a little bit, and it's pretty exciting. All the coaches want to call me and stuff like that, and I have 6 offers right now. In March of 2025, Arizona, Iowa State, Duke, Mizzou, and Virginia Tech were the finalists for him, and he was ready to make his decision. For the longest time, the only Power 4 school that even noticed him was Iowa State, and the Cyclones found him early and ended up getting the commitment from him. This would happen on April 18th, and he said, quote, it's been really exciting. I know it's going to be a long time, but I'm pretty fired up to get to Ames. Iowa State was hoping that Thomalla would turn into their quarterback of the future, as they had just produced big-time players like Brock Purdy and Rocco Becht, and it looked like he could be the next one in line. He said, quote, it just proves they can produce guys, and they didn't get them out of the transfer portal or anything. They can get a quarterback out of high school and put them into the NFL. Everything looked great for Cyclones fans until another program and coaching staff got a whiff of Jett. On May 15th, Alabama would decide to extend an offer, and this would change everything for Jett. He visited Tuscaloosa on May 30th during the summer recruiting cycle, and the same attributes that the Iowa State staff loved about him were also caught by Nick Sheridan, the quarterback's coach for the Crimson Tide. They loved his accuracy and ability to drive the ball downfield, and Bama wanted him as their quarterback. Then, in July of 2025, everything really changed, as in that month alone, Kalen DeBoer in Alabama had 12 commitments to their 2026 class, and Jett Thomalla was one of them. On June 17th, he flipped from Iowa State to Bama, and he was the 7th commit for DeBoer in the cycle and the first quarterback commit of the class. Basically, Thomalla said that Nick Sheridan asked him, quote, would you regret not coming to Alabama 4 years down the road? And Jett said probably. Jett also opened up on just how much the Bama staff had been in contact throughout the process with him, as he said, quote, me and Ryan Grubb and Nick Sheridan got on a phone call, and Grubb told me I had the offer. Since then, Sheridan has been in contact with me every day, and them calling me every day was a big part of the reason why I committed. When Jett took the field at the Elite 11 quarterback competition on June 17th, he had new weight on his shoulders. He was now the Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback commit, and he said he felt increased attention, and he had a name to represent. He said, quote, I feel like it helped me out, providing more confidence knowing that I'm an Alabama quarterback commit. It still doesn't really seem real. He said he felt drastically underrated, but the Crimson Tide did not care about where he stood. At the time, he was only considered a 3-star recruit. Jett said, quote, they don't care if you're a 5-star, a 4-star, or a 3-star. No one really cares about it anymore. The coaches know what I can do. Jett continued to rewrite the Nebraska high school football record books, as in a 77-0 win over Lincoln Southeast. He set the Nebraska high school football record for touchdown passes with 101 during his entire prep career. He also ended up breaking the record for Class A touchdown passes with 94, and as of a couple weeks ago, through 8 games, Thomalla had completed 1,900 yards and 36 touchdowns compared to just 2 picks. Also, most of that production came before halftime, as they won each of their games by at least 55 points. According to 24/7 Sports, he got the bump, as he's now a 4-star recruit, the number 9 quarterback, and the 95th best player in the class of 2026. Barring something crazy happen, Jett will probably end up in Tuscaloosa, but he will no longer be alone. While he currently is the higher rated quarterback in the group, he is now joined by another quarterback in the 2026 class by the name of Taden Kawa. He comes out of Orem, Utah, and on some sites he's a 4-star, but according to 24/7 Sports, he's listed as a 3-star and the number 61 player in the nation. He will now have competition, but I doubt that's something that Jett's going to shy away from. I bet that other guy will end up flipping somewhere else, so he doesn't have to be the second piece in the class, but who knows. He'll arrive at Alabama with Ty Simpson going off to the NFL, and he'll compete with Austin Mack and Keelan Russell as of now. I bet Mack will end up transferring, as Keelan seems to be the guy of the future for them, but I bet he'll end up being a backup before getting a chance to play in 2028. At least that's the current trajectory for him. But again, what do I know? Either way, Jett is an exciting player, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But what do you guys think? Do you think he is the quarterback of the future for Alabama? Who's another quarterback in the 2026 class I should take a look at next? And what other topics should I also do next? Be sure to let me know down below. Leave a like if you support today's video, subscribe if you're new, and check out some of the videos on the end screen. Hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.